Hi there, I'm Zara Premji from My Pretty Inkspirations, and today I will be bringing to you a tutorial for our April All-Star Video Class Bundle. And this month we are featuring a gorgeous suite in our mini catalog called Regency Park. And the card I've created today is fairly simple to put together. It's kind of my style is simple, but I did use a variety of different elements and products from the suite collection that we are featuring, and I'm really excited to share this project with you. So please keep watching and let me know if you have any questions or comments, or if you love the project and may try to recreate it. You can let me know in the comments. Let's first take a look at the suite in the catalog. The Regency Park suite can be found on pages 30, 31, 32, and 33 of our January to April mini catalog. And it is kind of a mega suite in the sense that it has a variety of different products included in it. And all of these products coordinate really nicely together, but of course can be used with other products in our catalog or of course individually. So the suite has two different bundles. It has the Petal Park bundle, which has a coordinating punch, and then it has the Sentimental Park bundle, which has the coordinating dies. And they both work really well together. In fact, I've used both on my project today, and but either one is really beautiful. The difference, one of the key differences with this, the Sentimental Park suite, is that it does have greetings included in it. But if you did choose to use the Petal Park and you didn't have this suite, of course you could use the greetings from any stamp set that you might have. The suite also includes this gorgeous textured shimmer paper, and I'll show that to you up close so you can get a feel for what it looks like. It comes with 6 different sheets, and they almost look like they're embossed. So they're shimmery, and then they also have like a striped texture on it, like a variegated texture, and it comes in 3 different colors, so 2 of each. So it has the balmy blue, and then we have the, I guess it's like a whisper white or a pearlescent white, and then we have the shaded spruce. I am going to be using the pearlescent white on my project today. And then we have this amazing embossing folder called Cane Weave. And I think this is one of our most versatile embossing folders. It can be used for masculine, feminine, all sorts of different projects. And then I'll just show you the embellishments really quickly, and I'll get stamping soon. So we have the adhesive backed milky dots. You can tell that I really like these embellishments, so I don't have too many left in this package. And then we have the beautiful bordered ribbon, and this is in Night of Navy. So I'll be using these on our my project as well. And then lastly, we have this gorgeous designer series paper. I am a real fan of florals, and I love bold and vibrant colors. And so this pack of paper really speaks well to that and has a lot of different patterns, and I love the color combination together. And then on the other side, you don't see as much of the florals, you just see smaller patterns, which again are really great and versatile for all sorts of different types of cards. So I think there's some really good options in here for masculine cards, kids' birthday cards, all sorts of different occasions you can create with. So without further ado, let's get started with the actual project. I've already pre-cut all of my cardstock, and all of the measurements and supplies are included in the accompanying PDF tutorial. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm more than happy to help with anything that you might have questions about. So I have, for the purposes, already embossed this piece of white cardstock, and I have used the Cane Weave embossing folder. So just so you get a feel for how deep the impression is, and you can use either side. So there's like the debossed side, and then the one like almost like the negative and positive, and they're both really beautiful. It really is just down to personal preference. And then here is a small piece of that textured paper, which I'm going to use to die cut one of the frames from the die set. And then I've just got some additional basic white cardstock, and I have some designer series paper and a little strip of petal pink for my sentiment. I love pink, and I tend to use it a lot on my projects. However, this one I went with a slightly different color scheme, went with more of the navies and the Mango Melody, and then just put a little hint of pink there. So let's get started with the actual stamping. And I'm going to start by stamping the flowers. Now these I am doing with the Petal Park bundle, and I'm going to use Mango Melody for the flowers. Now this is a 2-step stamp set, and so I'm using the outline image, and then I also have the part that sort of, I guess, fills in the image. And the matching punch will punch them out in the orientation that they are stamped in. So you just want to make sure that when you're stamping, you kind of have it so that you can slide your cardstock right in and have it cut the 3 flowers. So I'm going to start with this one here, and I'm going to stamp it like so. And then I'm going to stamp the second part of the stamps, but I'm going to stamp this off first. I'm just going to stamp that off to remove a little bit of the ink. And then I'm just going to kind of go over top of that outline image, and I've got my 3 flowers there and ready to go. So I'm going to punch this, and then we're going to move on to some die cutting before I do the rest of the stamping. So you can see that these 3 flowers that are stamped are going to fit really nicely into the punch, and you can move it around as you need. And if you do get a little stuck with a small piece of cardstock and you're having trouble shifting it around, you can just use a little Post-it note or some sort of sticky object, not too sticky, but that'll help you kind of maneuver it around. So once you've got it showing in the window, you're just going to put some gentle pressure, and then I like to punch it upside down so that it lands right on my desk surface. Okay, so we've got the 3 flowers there, and then I'm going to move on to some die cutting. And I'm going to use 2 dies in the die set, and one of them is going to cut out this frame. And that's this die here, which I think is just gorgeous. And I thought it would be nice to cut it using this textured shimmer paper, just to give it a little bit of a change in kind of shimmer compared to the flat white cardstock. And then I'm going to use this smaller die that's going to just cut out the basic white. So I'm going to go cut that out, and I will be right back, and we'll continue with the card. So that die cutting is now complete. So we have, as I mentioned, that smaller, I'm not even quite sure what shape this is, but it is a really nice label shape. And then we've got the die cut frame from the shimmer paper. And what you'll see after I finish stamping is that this will tuck in really nicely into the frame. And so you don't even actually have to adhere it if you don't want to. It just fits really nicely in there. So let's do the stamping first, and then I will show you how that works. So I'm going to use the 2-step leaf arrangement, and I will again start with the outline image. And the whole thing will not fit obviously on this label, but I'm going to just stamp a large proportion of that and just kind of eyeball where I want it to go. And I'm just going to put some gentle pressure there, make sure that stamps, and then we're going to go in with the 2-step stamp. So I'm gonna just make sure that I have it aligned properly. There we go. And so I'm going to ink this up, and again I'm going to stamp off onto my grid paper, and then I'm going to just kind of eyeball where this is going to go. It doesn't have to be totally perfect. Our 2-step stamps are quite forgiving. And then just again, put some gentle pressure. And then we have our stamped leaves. The last bit of stamping we're going to do is our greeting. And I'm just going to grab my little piece of petal pink scrap, and I'm going to use Night of Navy for this. So I like the dark ink on the lighter cardstock. And I'm just using the one that says, "Let's celebrate." And what's really nice about this sentiment is that it can be used for so many different occasions. It can be used for weddings, showers, birthdays, of course, someone graduating, all sorts of different occasions. So I'm just going to trim this down. I don't want it too wide. And so we've got our greeting ready to go. So really all that's left to do now is to assemble the card, and I'm going to go kind of from largest to smallest. I'll just start by burnishing my cardstock, and then I'm going to use my stamp and seal for this, and I'm going to just run it along the 4 sides of the embossed cardstock. When you have something that's embossed with one of our 3D embossing folders, the impression is really deep. So you want to make sure that you are getting your adhesive really close to the edges so that there is no sort of sticking up on any of the sides, because sometimes our cardstock does kind of change its shape, I guess, or it kind of can stick up at certain parts. So you just want to make sure that you get really close to the edge like that. And then we're going to take our 2 pieces of designer series paper. So I use this one here with all of the different flowers, and then I decided to use just a coordinating piece. It's a smaller piece of this pattern that has the Mango Melody. And I'll first start by just putting 1 strip there and then line that up so a little bit of it is peeking out. And then once that's done, I'm going to just put it like so onto the card. So it's nice because you can see a hint of both of the patterns. And then we will take our little label here, our stamped label, and I'm just going to tuck that in. You can see it goes in there. And then we're just going to create an opening here and tuck that in right there. Okay, I'm not going to stick this down yet because I do want to add some ribbon. But before I do that, I'm going to add my dimensionals. So I'm going to go with, sorry, I'm going to add my flowers, not my dimensionals. I'm going to add my flowers with dimensionals and just kind of arrange them. I'm going to just stick this one here and then cover it up with the flower. And then for this last one, I'm going to use a mini and just stick that in there. Okay. And then I think I'm going to keep it this way. All right. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is add my ribbon. And to do that, I'm just going to flip this over and I'm going to put a couple of strips. This is one of my favorite ways to add ribbon to a project. I'm just putting a couple of strips just to give it a bit of stick. And I'll just start by sticking down my ribbon, and then I'm just going to go back and forth in a zigzag, just letting a little bit of it peek out from behind that frame. So you don't want it too short or too long. And I'm just using my fingers to kind of help create that fold. And then once you are content with the length and the direction, you can just snip that off. So then I'm going to add some more dimensionals. Maybe put, I think 3 should be good. And then we will stick that right down onto the card. Just making sure that that ribbon is sitting as it should and hasn't twisted. Okay. I could probably have put 1 more dimensional here, but I think we can make it work. Okay, so that's that. And then I'm going to stick down my greeting, and it's going to look different each time. I want this to overlap a little bit of the flower. Maybe I want it a little higher. Yeah, let's go a little higher. And maybe I'll just put a little bit of adhesive here. And this is really just to allow it to sit kind of fairly level. All right, so it's stuck down to the flowers there, and then it's also stuck to the designer series paper. So the last thing we are going to do is embellish with these beautiful milky dots. And there are 4 different colors in here. So I'm going to use the Mango Melody ones for the centers. And then I will use these white ones for just to add some extra sparkle. In fact, I think I may go with the blue ones just to show you a different option. So I'm going to go with these ones for the centers. And then maybe we'll do some blue ones just to add a little extra pop. And I would love to hear which of the embellishment colors you prefer. So we can go there like that, and then 1 more large one here. Okay, So there you have it, the two different projects. This is the one that I just created, and I chose to use the blue dots for this one. And then this is the original that has the white one. So I would love to hear in the comments which one you like better. I actually really like them both. I don't know that I could choose. But I really hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope that the tutorial was fairly straightforward for you to be able to follow. Again, if you have any questions or if there's anything that I can help with, please don't hesitate to reach out. I want to thank you so much for joining and for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and creative day. Happy stamping!